Sentinel Online. Now loading the GeekCast radio network of podcasts.
You know?
I got this thing early. It's a special purple heart freaking pony with a Decepticon logo on it. It's Shattered Glass Pony Miss Prime. I can't believe I just said that.
And you know what, Gary? That's going in the intro to the show.
Are you serious? What did I just say exactly? Shattered Glass?
Shattered Glass.
He doesn't even remember.
Pony Miss Prime or something, or I don't know. I'll have to go back and listen to it. Oh, God. That's nuts.
That's great. That was great.
Cliffjumper, commence countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. ToyCast with your hosts TFG1 Mike, Optimus Scourge, Drew Iden, and the goddamn Proto Man.
Hey, what's the matter? Come on, you can tell me. Don't worry, Spike will be back soon. Oh, hey, I caught something. Yep, it's a whopper, all right. Talk about dull, Daniel. Why settle for a peak, Daniel, when you can see everything from Lookout Mountain? If you're gonna ride, Dano, ride in style.
Turbo rubbing, young punk. I'll straighten you out yet.
What?
You can win if you dare.
Decepticons! Save it, Cup! Not bad for an old-timer. Let's burn rubber. Wrong. They're our way in. Hey, I wasn't worried for a microsecond. I've got to help Prime. No, you don't, Megatron. Optimus, forgive me, Prime. And you better stay close to me. You're right, it can't. I just got this feeling. Come on, you big bozo. Get in the shuttle. Hey, Cup, don't you think we have better things to do now than tell old stories? Like maybe figure out how we're going to rescue our friends and then save Cybertron. They're closing on us. How'd you beat them? They're coming back. All right, we survived that. We're going to crash. Cup! Grimlock! Slap! Anybody! Talk to me. No way, you're just a little stiff. I thought they were supposed to reciprocate. No more. Ba weep grana weep nini bon. Every place reminds you of someplace else. A lot of good it's done us so far. Let him go! Optimus. This is the end of the road, Galvatron. Now, light our darkest hour. Autobots, transform and roll out. Let this mark the end of the Cybertronian Wars as we march forward to a new age of peace and happiness.
Hello and welcome to the 75th episode of ToyCast. I am your host, TFG1 Mike. Joining me today is the goddamn Proto Man. Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. Optimus Scourge. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
And Drew Iden. Hello, sir.
What's going on, brother?
Not much. What's going on with you guys? That's all you have to. Wow.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's the hump of the week. What more could I say?
So yeah, this is episode 75, and the reason why all four of us are here are because that we're all Rodimus fanboys, pretty much. If you guys will remember, way back in episode 61, Proto Man Drew and I, well, Drew was only there for 30 minutes, unfortunately, but Proto Man Drew and I went through pretty much everything that it was Rodimus at that time, and there has been a lot of stuff since then, especially with the announcement of a masterpiece Rodimus, which we'll get to a little bit later. I want to start a little segment here. This is not going to happen all the time. It's just when we kind of get stuff. We're going to call it UTS, United ToyCast Service, because I know when people order stuff or mail stuff or have stuff mailed to them, it could be USPS, it could be UPS or FedEx or whatever other mailing service you had that delivers to you. So, Drew, what have you gotten in the mail recently?
Animated Rodimus, the U.S. Edition. Got sent to me by Gog Dog. If you guys listen to the WTF podcast, he sent it up for me for my birthday. And then I also have Japanese Rodimus coming over to me soon. So, I mean, since last time we talked, I don't think I had the Crystal 2-pack yet. So, yeah, all those three things have kind of come my way since last time I've been on the show.
Awesome. What about you, Optimus Scourge? What have you gotten in this week?
Well, I've been doing a lot of selling, trying to fund truck driving school, selling stuff that I know I can get back easier that's been reissued. So I've made some money, and I've also traded for Rodimus items or items that I still need. I've gotten in trade, and some of it's bought. I bought a lot of stuff on eBay, loose and cheap, very small PVC type stuff. Rodimus. I got Mega PVC Rodimus sealed. I got 3-inch titanium Rodimus. I got a Robot Hero Rodimus, an extra one for that shelf. I still need a couple more PVCs to complete those, but I got that. In trade with someone, I got a Cybertron Supreme Starscream, a blaster, a Universe blaster for the upcoming blaster that Bengsta's doing on TFW. And some other, I got Cybertron Exilion in a trade, which is a Rodimus repaint of Hotshot. And trying to think. That's most of it. I think that'll cover it for now anyway. Just a lot of trades going on, so not so much buying as trading, but yeah, a lot of good stuff, a lot of Rodimus stuff coming in. So,
and to the guy that gets stuff sent to him daily, what have you gotten in the last week, bro, man?
A lot of stuff on the way right now because it's a lot of pre-orders of stuff. Like, I still haven't gotten my my Sons of Cybertron set. Not Sons of Cybertron, Challenge of Cybertron set, but it's on its way. I always get it after everyone else does.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that too.
The same thing, like the Japanese animated version, that's on its way. God, I have so much stuff on its way right now. The Unicron Primus, both those separate special 2010 editions, I have those pre-ordered. I have so much stuff. But what I actually got, like, this week or so, I found Human Alliance Jazz.
Cool.
What else? Not much, because I just had a comic convention that just passed this weekend, and it was more like comic book heavy. The stuff like Transformer related. Hey, I got to meet Larry Hama and Herb Trimp, who both worked on Transformers and G.I. Joe, and I got Herb, who worked on like the first 20 issues of the Marvel books. I got him to draw me a sketch of Optimus Prime. Because that's all he could remember. Not much TF related. It's been a quiet week. Everything's usually related in the mail. That's why.
Yeah.
Everything's on the way in the mail. Like Drew. He got his animated Rodimus from Gog Dog. I got it from Gog also. He's an awesome guy. But I got that like 3 weeks ago, so
yeah. I unfortunately, and I'm not really gonna get into it too far, but I had to be responsible, and the only way I could come up with the cash that I needed was I had to sell something. So I sold something to Optimus Scourge. I sold him my Shattered Glass Rodimus, which surprisingly I'm not like having withdrawals of not having it. So, but I sold him that and also traded him a couple of things. I traded him an extra U.S. Cyclonus I had and Hound with Ravage, and I got an extra Sons of Cybertron set along with one regular U.S. Rodimus as well. I had also bought a Sons of Cybertron set from BBTS, so I have two of them, one in Karn, one in Alt, or one in Alt, one in Bot. I've got some stuff coming in next week, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on there. This episode, I'm not sure how long it's going to go. I know that Drew has a limited amount of time that he can be on the show.
Per usual.
Well,
sorry.
It's all right. Hey, time is time. That's cool. We're going to have two separate discussion topics in this show. We're not going to really review toys like we normally do. It's just going to be all discussion. The first part of the discussion is going to be Masterpiece Rodimus Prime, Protector, and Shadow Skyler. Which technically they're the same thing, just repaint, but still. I think we're going to save the discussion for the classics, not classics repaint, the classics clear set of Rodimus for another day because it is just too much to discuss. So where do we want to start with Masterpiece Rodimus Prime?
I'd say let Proto Man have a go.
Yeah, so actually somebody else can talk afterwards.
I don't know. I guess we should all ask how many is everyone going to get?
I'm just getting one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. No one's crazy like me.
Exactly.
I am a little bit, not as crazy, but I want eventually... I really want 4. I want 2 with the trailer from Japan. Maybe start with 1. And from, EMS Japan, Hobby Link Japan, whatever. And try to get that as soon as possible. Then I want another one later on when I have some more money, maybe for Christmas, for, the alt mode of Rodimus. And then when the US one comes out, I want one for Hot Rod and one for Hot Rod's car.
See, that's kind of the logic that I had too, actually, was when they announced that there was going to be a U.S. one, I'm actually kind of hoping that the U.S. one has even the slightest change of a color scheme. Because that way I could... I mean, originally, before they announced that we were going to get a U.S. one, I was like, okay, I'm getting 6 of them. I'm going to have one mint in box, one in vehicle mode Hot Rod, one in vehicle mode Rodimus, one in Hot Rod robot mode, one in Rodimus robot mode, one for the base mode, whatever, one for my it was a whole bunch. And then I was like, well, if that American one comes out, and chances are it's probably going to be just the straight up Hot Rod without the trailer, because the price might go way up if it has just the trailer too. Maybe they'll do a color scheme that's different from the Japanese one, and then we could really have like a side-by-side, here's Rodimus Prime or Rodimus Convoy in that color scheme, and here's Hot Rod in this color scheme. And currently right now, the colors that this Rodimus toy is, it's Rodimus Prime's colors. So maybe, if it's an exclusive just Hot Rod alt mode US release, maybe we could get those, dare I say, like lighter magenta pink that we're familiar with from the movie and stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's great that they're doing this, the Masterpiece thing, but I've told Optimus Courage off air before. One of the reasons why I'm only getting one is because this is probably the only toy in my collection. Once I get it, I will probably play with it and not just have it for display.
Oh, that's why I need to get 6.
I was just gonna say that. One to play with.
There's one of that 6 that's going to be on my desk at all times. I call it the fiddle toy, which is every time there's been a Rodimus toy that somehow outdoes the last one, I always made sure to get an extra to have the fiddle Rodimus. And for the longest time, that was Henkei Rodimus. I got a case of those, so I have like that Henkei Rodimus that was sitting on my desk, and then when Animated came out, I'm like, well, that tops that one, So
what about you, Drew? How many Rodimus are you going to be getting?
It all depends on who's up for let's make a deal, let's make a trade. I got a lot of stuff in the old warehouse here looking for a good home, punch, counter punch. Got some, other stuff like that. Shatterglass, Cyclonus, maybe the Sharticons from Bacon. Little combo, I'm willing to trade up, trade down. Let's see what we can make a deal.
I could see someone trading the Sharticon set for Rodimus. That would be fair in pricing.
I traded the Rodimus, and I think I mentioned this last time. I traded the the Sharticons and the Canadian Avio Swerve for the MP 08X King Grimlock.
Well, there you go, right there. Like that's already $300, and that adds up evenly, more or less.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only masterpiece.
So I'm willing to do that. I mean, it's kind of the same price range for Rodimus. So I mean, I have one on pre-order, but I'm looking who wants to make a deal.
Yeah. And I'm just asking for anyone, and this is just a complete shill on my part, but we have a donations page on geekcastradio.com. If anyone wants to donate $200 by Christmas, that's how I'm getting mine.
True, it's supposed to ship in January, it said, or something.
I know, but I was trying to work it into Christmas, so. But yes, I know it's different.
I sent you a little envelope in that box. Just look in there. There's enough for Rodimus in there.
Oh, is there?
For the shattered glass Rodimus.
Oh yeah. Card.
I forgot to mention that in my hauls. I don't think I mentioned that. That's his last time I've been on. I got Shattered Glass. That's one of the two BotCon toys I have left. I got him and I got Breakdown.
What surprises me is that, and I'm kind of going off on a tangent here a little bit, but if you look at BotCon the last 5 years, maybe 2007 and 2006 are a close contender. If you look at BotCon the last 3 years, the 08 set is easily the most sought after and most popular, because every time I go to look at some of the stuff on eBay, like I usually look for Optimus because I don't have a second one of him. You can't find any listings for Optimus or Rodimus. I always find listings for Megatron or some of the little mini cons that they had in that set, but it's
I would argue that, but it's kind of a catch-20. Originally, the most sought-after set was that 2007 Games of Deception set.
Well, right.
Yeah, originally,
But now, like, it looks like Hasbro's like, yeah, eventually you will be getting everything, you know?
That's why I sold mine. I just sold all mine. I got 200 for Thundercracker, 175 for Thrust, and 125 for Dirge, and 150 for Clear Mirage.
And I say to myself, I'm like, well, then the Beast Wars set, you know, there's a possibility with that one that, you know, it could, like, have some kind of demand, because I never see those on eBay ever.
Yeah.
Like either the people who bought that one will never let go of it and put it on eBay, or, you know, it just sold out and it just sells out quickly, and or I don't know, like, I just never see that. That's the set I'm actually trying to get the most right now, is the 2006 set.
Yeah.
Because,
is that? I'll trade that for 2 Rodimus masterpieces. Who wants to make a deal?
There you
trade
go.
what for 2 masterpieces?
so hold on. So technically, for $400, I get the whole box set.
Sure.
That sounds about good.
You gotta buy me 2 Rodimuses in hand, and then
Well, you know what? I'll buy them for you, but first we got to wait and get some better stable prices, because right now everything's wacko.
Yeah, let's talk about the prices on it, because I've seen news items and stuff about just it being released. The only price I've seen is the BigBadToyStore.com price of $200. So
there's an early bird price in Japan for $191. So you're going to pay more for shipping, but you'll get it faster if you get EMS from HobbyLink or whatever.
Yeah, I don't got a YouTube page to worry about, so like, it's not going to make it. I think it's more so like, I just wait it out, because one thing that I've always noticed with every single Masterpiece toy, and you have to realize, as much as I love Rodimus, I won't deny that Grimlock is more popular than Rodimus as a whole, you know? And even in the case of Grimlock and Megatron, I always remember the first year said MP comes out, it goes for like $200. You go to dealer rooms like BotCon or TFCon, they go for like $200 to $250. And then the following year, they drop. They go to like, you know, $150 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
that's
the beautiful thing about Masterpiece toys is that they're extremely expensive, yes, but they're also not rare. They're extremely high-end, expensive toys, but there's no shortage of them.
Sure, they got to make their money back.
So what always happens is you have this toy, it's super expensive, everyone buys it when it's, you know, it's new, because they all go, oh my god, new Masterpiece. But you wait a year and it already drops $100. Like right now, you could pick, well, maybe not so much Megatron, but I know Grimlock, you could pick them up for nothing. And also, considering the fact that if Hasbro is going to do a release of Hot Rod, That'll also diminish the value significantly, and we'll see. We'll see. Again, time will tell. There's one thing I always say: patience when it comes to these kind of things will always pay off.
Oh yeah, I'm just getting one pre-order at the beginning and then waiting, like you said, and I'll wait for my U.S. versions for Hot Rod.
Yeah, that's the same thing with
I'll
me.
try to get a trade for one of them, maybe
It's
the
just-
Bruticus set or something.
It's one of those things that it's too early to be pre-ordering for anything. Like it's different from like the shadow side that we're going to be talking about later, like where if you don't pre-order now, it'll sell out. It's not going to sell out.
Yeah.
It's not selling out, and I don't really like pre-ordering on something that we just don't really know much about. Like I love how BBTS even came up with a number originally. Like how they just had a number. They were just like, this is how much it's going to be. And I was like,
I thought that was strange,
I was like, yeah, you know what? We don't even know how big this thing is, and yet you have a number. Even now, like, I don't have any pre-order. None. At all. And
Me either.
You think I'd scramble to pre-order, but I'm not, because I just know that somewhere else is going to be cheaper, or someone else is going to be the more legit price, or I'm not going to run to the first guy dangling the apple. You know what I mean? Like, there's more to this, because the Shadow Scyther, when that went on pre-order, bang, I got on that, because I knew that it's different. The third-party stuff is different. Even Protector, I haven't pre-ordered that yet. Like that one, it's because I don't want to pre-order something that we haven't even frickin' seen yet. Like, yeah, okay, we saw resins and we saw like prototypes, but have we actually seen the damn thing?
Nope.
We haven't seen the regular version.
Yeah,
no.
We haven't seen the full. Like I don't like pre-ordering stuff that's like a CG image or a sketch image. And again, Protector is something that's not in short supply. It's going to be like City Commander. There'll be plentiful of them. There'll be eBay.
There'll be a second run, third run.
Yeah. Again, that's not something I'm worried about. And
I hope it comes with a Target Master gun. I ordered that.
That I did order. I ordered
two of those. Yeah.
Because they're so freaking cheap.
Yeah, I know.
So like that one was kind of like, you know what? Wait or not, it's not going to get any cheaper than what was it, $14.99 or something, or $9? I don't even.
Yeah, it was slightly over $10, $15. Yeah.
Like that's just it. So it's a no-brainer.
I think we should let Drew get his words in if he has to go.
Yeah.
Well, he's not asked to go yet. You got any other opinions on Masterpiece, Drew?
Yeah, stop talking, everybody. I got opinions. God. No, I got nothing. Nah.
You know what they say about opinions.
Let's not go there.
I'm just kidding. I want to hear Drew's opinion. Drew is my hero. Go ahead.
Yay. My excitement kind of comes from kind of what they're going to do as the high-end repaint. I'm looking forward to that.
Shattered Glass.
The King Grimlock really kind of piqued my interest in you doing little things here and there, not getting one of everything, but getting one pretty big item, and especially if I can do a trade like I did, getting one big item and kind of sticking with that and having a small collection of kind of high price stuff. So if they were going to do like a MP10X, I guess it would be. I'm probably going to be all over it, which is kind of cool. But that's really down the line.
And see, well, let's talk about that though. Really, what else? Like, say 09 is already out, which we know it isn't yet. But say once it comes out, what else can they do with that repaint? Optimus Scourge kind of mentioned Shattered Glass, which that would be awesome to have a Shattered Glass Masterpiece Rodimus.
It probably won't happen, but yeah, it would be.
No, see, I could actually see. Well, I wouldn't say so much Shattered Glass, but I do see a dark Rodimus happening.
It's Japanese. They paint everything black.
Yeah, they've done it before already. So they've done it before. Hell, we've gotten Wild Rider, which is pretty much Shattered Glass Rodimus with a red face. They're obviously going to do some kind of black repaint. They have to do something. That's the point. That like when they looked at Grimlock, the Japanese, let's say we didn't know about the Grimlock repaint that they did. And we all were sitting around, we're going, what do you think the Japanese are going to do for their repaint of Grimlock? If someone would have came to you and said, dude, they're so going to do like a Marvel homage to like those couple of panels from the book that they didn't get, I think that person's crazy, but it happened. They did a straight-up repaint of something that 90% of the Japanese population couldn't even relate to. What am I saying, 90%? Like, almost 100%. Who in Japan actually read those Marvel books,
Yeah.
But it happened. So to phase out shattered glass, well, not so much shattered glass, but a black Rodimus would be kind of premature because I could actually see that happening. The only other thing I could see happening is if they do, and I pray it doesn't happen, like an all-gold, like lucky draw kind of thing like they did with the Convoy and calling it Primus or something, or, it's like what they did already before.
See, for me, I would absolutely love if if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But ever since BotCon 08, I'm really, I don't get into it as much. Like, I don't go like Shattered Glass Ravage and Shattered Glass Cyclonus and all that crap. The main set and the main comic that came out for BotCon 08, that's what I like when it comes to Shattered Glass. And I would absolutely love if they made a Masterpiece Shattered Glass Rodimus repaint, especially if they could replicate that goatee. That would be so awesome.
Well, I could see what they could do, the Japanese, to make everyone happy. The one face will be Shattered Glass Rodimus with the goatee, and for the Japanese, it won't have the goatee. It'll be black. It'll be Dark Rodimus or whatever. I don't know. Or it'll be a red face and it'll be Wild Rider.
No.
I don't know.
All right, so do we have anything else we want to say about Masterpiece, or do we want to move into Protector / Skyther?
I'm good on Masterpiece, I guess.
Okay.
I guess the only thing we could say is, what are those extra stuff that's going to come with it's going to be?
Oh, with Masterpiece?
Oh, yeah. It's got to have a fishing pole.
Fishing pole,
I'd love
buzzsaw
to
hand.
Yep. I'd love to
Maybe
see the little flying skateboard.
A little Daniel.
Yeah,
I was just going to say that.
Well,
okay, that's really creepy. Okay, I gotta get that image out of my head. Proto Man's gonna buy 6 of these things. He's gonna have 6 mini Daniels if they put a mini Daniel in there. Oh god, that's so creepy.
And his name is Daniel.
I know, that's why it's so creepy.
I'll have my Daniel art. Well, you know what I always tell people, and Gary could be part of this, and so could you, Mike. There's always try to find the Transformer that has your name. So you have Sky Gary, and there's a GoBot in Japan named Mike. Well, it's named Michael,
God.
but so I don't know. Let's see, Drew.
Yeah,
It's okay, Drew. We'll get a Drewatron one day. Oh no! Wait, there's the Mountain Drew bot. No,
that was good. He's
I
a
don't know.
robot hero. He's a robot hero.
I don't know.
All right, so moving into Protector / Skyther / whatever other repaint fans project is going to do with that. Proto Man tried to steal the resin at BotCon 2010.
There's photo evidence.
Yes, there is.
Those Chinese could run fast, I'll tell you.
We really don't know what. I mean, you've already said Proto Man. We really don't know what the final image product is going to be, and rumors are just from stuff that I've seen. It's pretty much. I don't know if they're. I don't know what Takara is going to do with it, or not Takara. Fans Project. I don't know if they're going to create 2 different versions of it, because if you look at just the original version of Protector itself, the paint scheme on the Takara. On the Henkei Rodimus is different than the U.S. version, so you're going to have to.
I already have kind of a theory of how this is going to work, and it's because of that sidearms version. Okay, first of all, you take the original Classics Rodimus, right, and you take the Henkei one. When you put them side by side, they more or less have the same maroon. They more or less have the same colors. The only difference is really the spoiler, some minor paint apps, and the clear plastic for the cockpit and the missile, right? Now, they already said that the actual Protector is going to come with spoiler extensions that are orange, right? So that means that if you buy Protector, he's meant for the Classics Rodimus, the original American release of Classics. But if you buy Sidearms, that little Target Master buddy, he comes packed with him gold spoiler extensions. So he comes with an upgrade for your protector that you could use the Henkei one. Now, here's my last assumption. Down the line, I see them probably doing maybe a repaint of maybe sidearms, and we'll get something that helps with the challenge for Cybertron version. But the only problem with the challenge of Cybertron version is the overall color of the toy clashes. And a lot of people were complaining, that they're trying to do something that'll work for everything. Fans Project in the past never did that. When they released City Commander, they did it specifically just for that Ultra Magnus, not with the intention of Optimus Prime working with it. When they did Powered Commander for TFCon, if you look at the detailing on the side of the Powered Commander trailer, it's meant only for Classics Optimus Prime. Not Henkei Optimus Prime, not Ultra Magnus, not Nemesis Prime, just for the Henkei, just for the Classics Optimus Prime with those little gray silver lining on the side of the cab going onto the trailer. There's all kinds I don't really see them trying to do that. They're going to do something it's already been kind of proven with all that stuff that BBTS has put in the details. It's pretty much been proven that it's meant for the original Classics one, and then everything will be kind of an afterthought. I think even you have to realize this toy was first teased at us way back at TFCon 2007 when it was when they were just working on City Commander, and they had this image of this character holding up a matrix, and it said "The Protector coming soon," and that's all we knew. And that was in 2007. It's been 3 years now.
Yeah,
we still know just a little more than what we know today, and from what we saw in person.
That's interesting because, to be honest with you, I didn't think to pre-order until that info about Shadow Skyther came out. Mm-hmm. And then when I went to find it, I'm like, oh, this is just going up for pre-order now. I'm like, in my mind, I thought it went out like a year and a half ago. I'm like,
oh hell no, it's
you know what I mean? It's one of those things that's just it's been so long. They really teased it.
Not to mention, Fans Project since they announced it and since this pre-order a week and a half ago. What has happened in between, Fans Project has announced other things, released them, they became old news, and yet still no, Warbot Defender, the Munitioner and Explorer. There's been a whole bunch of other stuff that they've hyped, released, and now it's old news, and yet still no Protector, which I find absolutely fascinating, considering either they really want to perfect this thing, or they just haven't. It's not ready yet, maybe that, because again, if they would have had color pictures, they would have given them to BBTS to help them with the pre-orders or something. Something's missing that we don't know yet. Yep. That's all I have to say.
In the words of Starscream, time makes all things possible. I can wait.
Me too.
Yeah,
There's
don't
so
know.
much coming out right now that I can definitely wait. I mean, I'm up to my ears in stuff that I already want.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I mean, if you look at the BBTS listing, it doesn't come out until December, anyways. Supposedly, it doesn't come out till December.
Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's almost a wait and see. And I guess for me, the only really thing is, I mean, Skyther is supposed to be a repaint, but we've only seen one little image of it.
We've seen there's a bunch of new ones that kind of show a better detail of how it looks, but even then, it's kind of vague.
Yeah.
I mean, supposedly new head, new weapon, but that's usually the case with the upgrades or repaints of Fans Project stuff. They did the same thing with City Commander, where it was a new head and new shoulder cannons, and then a new head and a flag or whatever, or a hammer.
Right. I wonder how they're going to do a new head for Skyther for Shatterglass, because I would hope that they would at least keep the same scheme that what Shatterglass Rodimus has. But I don't know if they can because of copyright.
No, I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue because. Number one, when you compare the only two black Rodimus molds that could work with that Skyther, which is the Wild Rider and the Shattered Glass one, they're the exact same color scheme. 100%, both of them, except for a little red paint on a face of one of them, being the Wild Rider. So whatever paint scheme they do, it'll be compatible with both. And I think they could get away with it because, in all honesty, it's a lot of black. That's all it is. You know,
Yeah.
and they could, black with purple. Wow, that's never been done before. It's been done with a lot of things, so I'm pretty sure they could get away with it. The only thing I feel bad for is, I mean, there's only really. It was funny because people were like, "Wow, that means only like 1,500 people could really enjoy this Shadow Scyther mold because of the limited run of the Shattered Glass one." And I believe the Wild Rider too. It was, I think, a limited run of only 1,000. And then I brought up, well, we do have that club exclusive Sideburn that's coming out. That's going to be a dark blue, so maybe that'll work. You know?
Well, but like you said, it all depends on how much purple they use on Skyther.
Oh yeah, of course. It'll be your poor man's Shattered Glass Rodimus. Literally poor man because you get it for free. But anyways.
All right, so I think we're going to take a quick break. You're going to hear some audio, and we're going to come back with part 2 of the discussion. We'll be back after this.
Till all are one!
Rodimus to Elite Guard Command! We are under attack. Repeat, requesting backup. We are under attack. Sir, I don't know how long we can keep the comms from the space bridge. Ironhide, Brawn, transform and fall back. We need to protect the space bridge. You'll have to get past me first. Deceptor creeps. Cosmic rust.
We are back, and this is discussion topic part 2. This is going to be all about Transformers Animated Rodimus Minor for the US version and Sons of Cybertron Rodimus for the Takara version. As we all know, this toy was highly suspect until we saw images at BotCon 09. And then we saw, what do we see? We saw pictures of it, and then we saw a potential release date of pretty much whenever they decide to put it out, and it's finally out.
And then we also got those bad Photoshop photos of it at the product preview.
You know what? Those Photoshop photos, I've noticed. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I've noticed this a lot. The Photoshop photos end up usually as the back cover art for animated toys.
Oh yeah, almost always. Yeah, because it's that those are like as we quote the official photos. Those are the Hasbro official photos.
The hand-painted ones?
Yeah, well, it's not. They're Photoshopped. They're not hand painted.
Oh, the photo. Yeah, I know what you mean. The first images we usually see of the Photoshop.
Yeah.
That the toy never looks like, and people get mad, and it happens every time.
Yeah. Why is Rodimus like super dark brown maroon? Oh, this is bullshit. I'm like, guys, you saw the in-hand figure way before this, you know.
And the funny thing is about especially the Rodimus Photoshop photo, isn't the Japanese version going to be those colors?
Not so much. Like the Japanese one is our American one, but imagine a lot more silver, not silvery, a lot more shiny.
I thought it was going to be maroon, like season Rodimus color.
I've seen already some like photo galleries of it, and it's a maroon, but it's not like a dark brown maroon. It's more of like what our red is on ours. You know, it's just that like to give you an example, the crossbow for the Japanese one is exactly the same as our crossbow. So that right away gives you an idea of the colors of reds and like, you know, those molded in color plastics right there.
Yeah.
So it's not a big difference, but it is a significant difference to notice, but it's not a big difference in terms of like shades of colors they use. I guess what we could also mention is like in BotCon 2010 we got our first view of the back of the package too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I wish that the bow would have been black.
Yeah, you know how it works. Molded in color, gang molding.
I know, but see, that's the thing though. How can you have gang molding with that with this figure? Because he's the first one that has ever been released.
Do you know what gang molding is? What gang molding is when you have a toy in the factory, it's on a tree, and it's like
the missiles from Thundercracker and
How it works is that a toy, like, I would have to like bust out a Gundam model like before it's assembled, and everything's on a bunch of trees of plastic of different colors, and toys, how they normally are built, they're gang molded, meaning that, well, Rodimus's like lower crotch leg area, which is all the orange in-molded plastic, along with his forearms, that's all on one separate tree of plastic, and including his missiles. That's why, like, when you look at if you look at any Transformer toy, you could always kind of find that spot where the person clipped it off of the tree.
It's very prevalent on Rodimus's bow, or Rodimus's spoiler. The animated one. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good example. Yeah, especially there, you could see it. The term it's called mold flashing, which is when you have extra plastic from the person in the factory who clipped it off. And in Rodimus's case, his spoiler, there's a lot of mold flash. You could see I believe it's if you're holding it the back of the figure to you, it's on the left side. And you could see it. But so how that works essentially is, when they do any toy, and we're talking any toy, and this, like the first time we ever really heard about it, even though it's existed for years, was when they were doing Armada. People were always complaining how ugly some of the Minicons looked, and the people were always like, well, you have to realize the Minicon is on the same tree as the bulk figure. So whatever color the bulk figure is, those colors are going to be transferable onto the Minicon. Now, granted, some Minicons were so simple that they only had to be one color anyways. So Jolt, even though he was all red, he didn't have to have the yellows of Hotshot, But at the same time, this applies to weapons also. And in the case of Rodimus, they're like, well, we could have an all-black bow. And it is possible because Rodimus does have black areas on him, especially the Japanese one, the American one, which is all his joints and everything. But they want color. They want it to be a little more interesting. So they go, okay, we'll use the orange area for the missiles, the maroon areas for the bow, and the gold areas for the missile holsters, if you will. And that's how gang molding works. And they do that to stretch the budget of plastic. A good example, like anyone who's done like a custom class at BotCon, they experience that firsthand. They really see how that's done, that whole process. Or anyone who's built a Gundam kit.
I've got to sit in on the one at TFCon, but I didn't sign up, and I actually have someone who has an extra set of labels and all that, so I am going to have one, but I didn't actually do the class.
For the G2 Flash?
Oh, no, for the year before. I didn't go that last year.
Universe Rev. Yeah.
Yep.
What? Someone sold one of those on eBay. It went for $110.
I'm talking about the Sunstreaker.
Yeah, the Universe Rev. Like it was. Turned, Man,
yeah.
That was
Lupus is going to hook me up with the whole set to do that.
Awesome.
TFCon.
Yeah.
TFCon 2011. Hope to see you all there.
I hope I can go if my job lets me. If I'm driving a truck by then, I don't know what my schedule's going to be like, but I imagine I'd be able to get off a weekend. I mean,
It's the 10th anniversary, people. Big location. Anyway, we'll talk about it later at the shout-outs.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So animated Rodimus here. He's, I don't know. I really like him, but I don't know, for some strange reason, like the light piping. Everyone said how awesome the light piping is going to be. You have to have really bright light for it to be really awesome.
Well, it's
that's with any light piping, really.
No, because I can.
Yes, no.
I can sit in my chair, and I don't have her over here. She's over on my shelf, but I can sit in my chair here at my desk and just hold RC up in front of my lamp, my halogen lamp, and her eyes glow like there's no tomorrow.
Oh,
Rodimus,
I will agree with you. It's more so the fact because you see it a lot more with G2 toys and some Beast Wars toys that didn't have the eyes painted in. It depends how big the light piping is on the back of the head as opposed to the exit area wherever the eyes are. A good example of very great light piping, like Machine Wars Starscream or WoW, like any of the G2 Cyberjets. But there's always a downside with that. If you have really good light piping, that means you got this humongous gash in the back of the head of the figure that's all clear blue.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you go? Oh man, he dropped out. I'll have to edit that.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. Edit this out. So you were saying, sir?
I was just saying, like, I will agree with you. Like, it's not as strong as some of the past light piping figures. And, I mean, this one, the only thing that you really need that light piping for is to see is two little pupils that are floating in there, which I thought is really cool that they put those in there. I mean, they didn't have to go the extra mile to put the pupils in, but they're there, and that's pretty cool, considering a lot of people don't even notice it. But yeah, like, hey, it's still awesome.
The other thing I noticed, just noticed with him, because I'm kind of holding the robot one in my hand here. We all know how, I'm not sure how Hasbro did, well, we all know how they did it, but this is the only version of Rodimus to ever actually physically hide the engine permanently in robot mode.
Yeah.
Yes, I love how they did that.
I love how they did that too, but one of the things I'm noticing holding the robot mode in my hands here, because I was kind of moving his head down and trying to see how much of the light piping I could get into it, there is a screw in the back of his head, so technically he does have an engine in the back of his head.
Well, no, like I mentioned this, I think, in a previous podcast where I was really stoked about that, how they engineered the engine out, because for years that's always been an issue where it was like, where do you put that stupid engine? Like the G1 toy, it's on the back of his head. The Classics toy, they were just like, let's just keep it on his chest,
Yeah.
And so now they were like, why don't we just flip it? And I'm like, hey, that's great,
Now you have an option. You have an option to be anime correct or toy correct, whatever you want. It's best of both worlds, really.
It is,
I love it.
And I love that too. Like that was a little extra move that they did that was just incredible. And considering the fact that I don't know how the process really went, like what was decided first or whatever, when it came to the design of this character. I mean, like, the only part that I know of is the character was more or less conceived a little bit after BotCon 2008. And the only reason why I know this was because Derek at Auto Assembly in the UK, someone asked him what was the inspirations for Rodimus, and then he mentioned me and a popped collar at BotCon 2008. And it's true. You can look it up. Apparently, animated Rodimus's popped collar was because some weird-ass fan at BotCon 2008 went up to Derek and was like, so, are you going to put animated Rodimus in the show? I hope you're going to do good with animated Rodimus, because if you don't use animated Rodimus, I'm going to be pretty pissed. And that popped collar guy was me. And so... But the thing is, I don't know if the toy was being conceived at the same time as the design was, or the design come first and then afterwards. Because another thing, too, is we never saw the alt mode of Rodimus until Derek put it on his blog.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of, like, I'm really curious, like, how this was all engineered. Was this planned in advance? Was it just going to be a case kind of like Strika, where it's like, hey, we're just going to see this one mode and we'll give you a vague idea of the other one, but a toy might not even be possible to work between the two. But whatever. Like even Derek said, a lot of times when he designs Transformers, he designs them with the intention of a toy coming later. So,
well, actually, it was. I'm going off topic here a little bit. For Purple Shockwave, it was the reverse. They were designing the repaint of the gray version for the toy. And he ran to Marty or whoever it was and said, hey, is there a way to change this really quick to fit it into the show?
Really?
And that's how True Color Shockwave got in the show.
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yep.
So, Drew, what are your overall opinions of the U.S. version of Rodimus?
Good. After having the clear one for so long, it was kind of cool to see it, all there and opaque. Kind of got used to the transformation. It wasn't anything sort of different, but it was cool. And even though kind of all that masterpiece stuff kind of came up and made it seem like it's, kind of just okay, it really is maybe the best representation of Rodimus, that we might have, depending on how this masterpiece shapes up. And I'm very happy it came out finally, and just very commendable that it actually saw the light of day.
One of the things I've noticed about this, and I've noticed it from watching different reviews from people and just having the toy myself, this is probably one of, if not the best animated toy that has virtually no backpack whatsoever.
Well, he has a backpack, but Rodimus is just one of those characters where the backpack is part of his character design. I mean...
Always has been.
Right, but I mean, it doesn't jut out, though. I mean, like...
Well, actually, it does. But again, that's part of the character. That's, I mean, we could accuse him of having one, but it's just... It's a part of the character that we associate with it. If there was no such thing as a Rodimus character ever before that we could associate with, then we would say, oh, he has a backpack and it's a spoiler that's obstructing from the back there. But since we're so familiar, and we want that, if anything, too.
Right, but I mean, all right, but I've got the Classics version, or the Sons of Cybertron version, or not Challenge at Cybertron version right here, okay? And that has a more predominant backpack than the animated version does. Yes, I will agree that having the windshield and the spoiler on his back is his backpack, but it's not as pronounced as what I'm getting at. It's not, jutting out like a Cheetor backpack would.
Well, you're also talking two different kinds of design teams. You have to realize the animated, especially animated Rodimus is like the prime example of animated engineering, of subspace and mass shifting and hiding kibble and hiding wheels, and I mean that's what they do. Where Classics is more, and especially one thing you have to realize, Classics Rodimus and Classics Starscream were the two first Classics toys that were designed. Those two toys were designed before every single one of the other ones were even conceived. And the idea for Classics initially was, here we're going to do a toy line that's the original G1 toys, but articulated. And that's why Starscream and Hot Rod are so dead on to their original counterparts. But then after they did Starscream and Hot Rod, the next one they went to tackle, Megatron. And they encountered a million problems, so obviously they had to change it up. And by the time they were done engineering Megatron, they then went on to Prime. And they said, well, since we changed Megatron so much, let's change up Prime a bit too. And then that whole frame of mind stuck with the rest of the line. Then Bumblebee wasn't the same. Then Astro Train wasn't the same. Where the original idea, which spawned at the beginning, didn't turn out for the rest of the line. But that's also why when you look at, hold Classics Hot Rod or Rodimus and then compare him to any of the other cars that come later. And I love Rodimus, but he's a lot less advanced compared to the likes of Sunstreaker and Blue Streak and later down the line with Drift. I mean, he's a lot more boxy and simplistic, but then again, he was one of the first toys that was engineered.
Yeah. Drew, have you seen, or you plan on getting the Crystal set, right?
The Crystal...
the animated
Classics?
Sons of Cybertron?
I have the Crystal animated Sons of Cybertron.
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah, that's right, you do too, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you think of that version compared to the US version?
I like it. I like the dark red. If that's crazy, I know, but yeah, I think it was neat to get, I suppose, a variant before the actual version came out, and it was cool. It is cool, and I took it with me for like the next 24 hours after I got it in the mail. Just like, this is so much fun. Pretty simple transformation once you got the hang of it, and the spoiler could go in any sort of shape or form, and I like that not all of it was clear. I think having the face painted, having the parts like we talked about being gang molded that were there, kind of gave it this sense of it's not just a random clear figure. It's it's there for a purpose and there to make it really stand out in a collection. So I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's very, very awesome. I've got them both here. We haven't really talked about the alt modes, but the alt mode is very like super sleek on both of them, both versions, the US and the Crystal version. I kind of like the front chest piece of the US version a little bit better because it has the black, but I see what they did on the Crystal version as far as blending it in. The Crystal version, I said to Proto Man off air a couple nights ago, I said, it looks like he has blood running through him because it's like a really bright blood red.
It is. Well, it is. And it has that kind of the plastic, the way, I don't know, it just works out is that there's a lot of insides to them. You know what I mean? It kind of looks like, if you hold it in the right light, kind of looks like circuitry. If you hold it in the right light, to some, I suppose, blood. Either way, it's it kind of, like I said, made it stand out from, say, the like holographic Star Wars figures that you get that are just clear blue. So, in that case, I think that is a nice little feature.
Yep. What about you, Optimus Scourge? What do you like about the Crystal set or the Crystal version?
I really like it. I mean, I even actually like the Prime. I mean, I'm a big fan of Prime and Rodimus, to be honest with you. I have collections of both going. And I actually really, really like that one. I was very happy when I got it. I like the way it came out, and you guys touched on some points already. I don't mind the colors. I really like it. I mean, I like how it came out. Fits in well with my collection. I mean, I'm just very happy with it. I'm glad they did it. I mean, it was kind of inevitable now with all the Rodimus stuff this year, but I'm loving every minute of it. I'm just recently become a Rodimus fanboy. I've always liked Rodimus, but never had a major collection. I've had all the normal toys, as a collector, but now I'm starting to really get into the Rodimus thing, and I watched Season 3 today and stuff like that. So when I got that Sons of Cybertron pack, man, I could not wait to put that review up on YouTube and just, play with that toy. I love it.
I love how they used, and we'll get Proto Man's thoughts in a minute because I know he's going to go on at length. But wanted to get everybody else talking about it beforehand. I love how they use the clear plastic, like the red clear plastic is fine, but just like the clear opaque white plastic for the hands and for the the exhaust vents and the exhaust pipes and the pipes on his legs. Like the US version, the hands and the pipes and the leg, they're okay, but I don't know. I like the clear version a little bit better.
I was actually going to say in my video, because I'm in a really well lit, like 2,000 watt light box for the HD video. It's different than the camera. So I really noticed everything clear, and I popped out his saw and I went, "You got to be kidding me. It's translucent black or like charcoal plastic." I was like, you got to really hold it in bright light to see it, but it is.
Oh, yeah, you're jumping into the classics one. I was talking about the Sons of Set, the animated one, as far as the
animated, yeah.
Yeah, as far as the hands versus the US version's hands, which are gray.
Oh, yes, the clear hands and the clear pipes. I mean, I love it.
Yeah. Well, Drew has limited time with us, so we're going to have to say goodbye to him. Drew, thank you for being on. This has just been a blast.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I like coming on. I like talking about Rodimus, hearing a few new things here and there. And, let's do it again sometime, maybe when Protector comes out or absolutely when Masterpiece comes out.
All right, we will talk to you then. So, talk to you later, Drew.
See you later, Drew. Take care, buddy.
Thanks, man. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. The clear Henkei Classics one, I like it, but it's not something I'm going to be able to get anytime soon. And I think outside, if I had never gotten the challenge at Cybertron set, I don't think I would have ever had a Rodimus mold besides Shattered Glass at the time. Before we really get into this, Proto Man, what are your thoughts on the animated Crystal Rodimus?
Well, I remember I ordered a bunch of these. I got him after the animated one because I got the animated one through shady stolen Chinese ways. So, where most people, again, like I said before, their first experience with this mold was the clear one. Mine, it was the colored one. So when I got this one, I guess I handled it in a different way because to me he just felt like another Japanese exclusive clear variant, and I have many of Rodimus, and not to mention I have like a very good picture that one could do. Is you take G1 Rodimus and you take the clear G1 Rodimus, which was an eHobby exclusive, and then you put it next to the animated one and the classics one, because it's pretty much that same idea, right down to even the way it's gang molded. It's the same colors too.
Right.
So it's just that one requires stickers for specific areas, which I would never do. But anyways, like it's just I like it. I'm not like, holy crap, it's the most amazing thing ever. I actually lean a little more towards the colored one in terms of which one I like better of the two. They both have aspects that are better than each other on one side than the other. I find the clear one has a nicer spoiler, although the color is very unnoticeable, but it has a nicer gold than the American one.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, and I can't really give my final opinion until the Japanese one comes in the mail, because I'm still waiting for that one.
Yeah.
When that one comes out, I'll have a nice 3-shot photo of all three, and then I'll get a really good idea of everything. And, maybe the Japanese one is even better. All I know is like,
You're talking about the regular Japanese Rodimus?
Yeah, the regular Japanese one when that one comes.
Yeah, I got to get that.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a really good idea of which is the best of the three.
I think my only real complaint between the two is I like the clear animated Rodimus robot mode a little bit better because he doesn't have clear orange plastic on his feet. It's all red. I'm not a fan of the orange toe top on the US version.
That throws off some people, but to be fair, it's show accurate. So.
Well, true. So where do we want to start with the crystal set for the classics Sons of Cybertron? Yeah, Henkei stuff.
Well, I'm actually going to throw a link right here, and I hate to link to a certain site, but they're the only one that have a gallery right now. Another site doesn't. But I have this guy, and I got to say, I really love him. I mean, granted, it's the classics mold, and as Daniel was saying, it was designed before everything else, so it still has that G1 appearance, which I don't mind. I mean, I like kind of all things Rodimus, and like someone was mentioning they like the detailing. I believe it was you, Mike. You like the silver pipes on his arms. The whole thing isn't just clear; it's detailed.
Yeah,
and that's what the gold spoiler is beautiful. I don't mind the black feet because, as we said, the feet would be brittle and would break. It's got black tires. It doesn't have clear tires, which I just think clear tires kind of look dumb. I mean, yeah. They look cool on that clear Optimus Prime thing they made all right, but it's just unrealistic. I mean, being clear is unrealistic anyway, but I mean, for a Transformer, it's kind of not, but they'd have regular tires.
Yeah.
And
I think the thing with the clear Rodimus, the classics clear Rodimus is for the Henkei version, the black makes it stand out.
It really does. It lights it up. It does.
Yeah.
I really want to get another one of those sets. And I was actually going to discuss with you later about that. But yeah, I want to get another one because I want one for each mode now. I like it so much. Still need a Henkei Rodimus, but, not right now. Not until I get in school and get some money and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll
Henkei
always be
Rodimus,
around.
because it's so far past the original release date. It's almost like out of range. And I know Daniel can talk about this a little bit, but
Well, not really, because the way things work is things get re-released. I sold my Predaking reissue 8 months ago for $450 mint in box. It had been opened and displayed, but never the stickers put on. I got $450 for it, and now I can order it for $179 when I have the money in December.
yeah.
You got to have, I'll tell you, for collecting for 15 years or whatever, you got to have patience. These things will come back around. Maybe not, but I'd venture to say you will be able to find it some way, somehow. You put up a want ad for trade, something you got good. You will be able to get it.
Let me tell you, and this is the ultimate trick, and I saw this through a guy back in 2002. He posted it, and it's so true. If you're a completist, or if you're someone who likes to collect as many from a main line as possible, there was this guy. His name is Liquid Velcro. He's part of the Allspark boards, and he did this math for us. And he said, okay, let's say you're someone who wants to collect the main line of 2002, and at the time that was Armada. Okay, he's like, what if you want to get every Armada toy? So he listed every single Armada toy that came out in store shelves and the price next to it, as it was in actual retail, okay? And then he gave us the final total, which is if you bought every single toy in retail and how much it would cost you. And he had a nice chunk number. I think it was like $3,700, right? And then he went to BotCon in 2004 and bought the entire line in
For
one
half
shot.
that, right? For half
And
or a third?
it was even more than half that.
Yeah.
Because he was picking up, Power Link's Red Alert that was originally at retail for $29.99 for like $5 mint in the box.
I did a lot of that too.
He was picking up a lot of those big figures. At the time, Unicron was saturated. He was picking up for $30, not for $79.99 or $69.99. He was picking up Overload, Supercon Optimus Prime, which was like $59.99. He was picking it up for $20. Every toy was cut rate, and that's Granted, yes, there is the slim exceptions for every classics Rodimus that goes from $14.99 to $100 on eBay. Although now even waiting for that, it'll become cheaper later. But for every one toy that goes up insanely in price after its retail, there's 50 of them that go down. And we're not talking unpopular characters. Popular characters too, they go down in price. There was a time where alternators was the hottest thing ever. Now people are selling their alternators,
I sold my alternator collection. I've been unemployed, not to get into that, but I sold mine, and I know for a fact that everyone's selling their collections here and there, and I can get them for less. And if I buy them as a lot, I can get them for half retail.
Oh, of course.
I can buy every single one, except maybe the
Swerve. Swerve
Actually, he's not that hard to find. I know a couple guys sell.
He's not hard to find, but he would probably be the most expensive of the bunch. That's usually the case.
Oh, sure.
Even the San Diego.
Unless you want, if you're talking just straight American alternators, but I include
Vinyltech ones.
I include the Vinyltech variations. So in other words, my collection had yellow tracks
and red jazz.
It had the red jazz, and it had all that in the BT Convoy. The BT-17 Black Convoy, of course. That's another one that's right up there with Rid Prime Lucky Draw. That's among the rarest Black Primes.
Yeah, that
going
was a
back to
Wonderfest
that.
exclusive.
Yeah. Well, I bought 2 of them for $200 a piece when they came out.
Yeah, but that's just it, listeners. Patience pays off. It really does.
You do have to know what to have patience on. Exclusives are not one of those things.
Yeah, don't look at an exclusive. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I know a good example when you're someone who's selling your BotCon exclusives. The trick is
sell them
always
early.
sell them the week you got them. Don't wait a month.
I used to get.
That's where the patience on your half is to sell them right away, because people are like, dude, BotCon exclusives, and buys them the first week, but then week 2, week 3, week 4,
And they
then
paid
it's so
$1,200 for the entire set. I did it at every BotCon I went to. I sold my wife's set and paid for mine. Paid for my whole
going to
dealer
Disney
room.
World is no problem.
Yep.
And the funny thing is about BotCons and exclusives and all that stuff, I don't know about like the other years, but I can look on eBay right now and I can find the 5-figure box set still. I've found 2 different listings here. One for $1,075 and another one for a little over $1,200.
For which one?
5 figures?
08. The BotCon 08.
The shattered glass has become the most popular thing, and especially people want $500 now for shattered glass Rodimus. No one's really paying that, but I mean, there are guys who will because they have to have it now.
Yeah, ever since the announcement. Well, that's another thing too. Fans Project kind of also influences the market a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's also figures that we could pass up on, like a very good example, and I know in Canada this was the case, when that Bruticus Maximus set first came out in Zellers, which is a chain, and it's our equivalent of Target.
Yes, your Target. Say. Yep.
When we first got it, I think it was $49.99. No one bought it because that was way too expensive for that set. And then Zellers went on clearance, and they were selling them for $17 a pop. And still, people who were completists or like, the mold's not too bad, were picking it up. But otherwise, no one was picking it up even for $17. Then Munitioner and Explorer were announced. And all of a sudden, the price of that set went through the roof. And then you're looking on eBay, and you can't find it for less than $100.
I know that $90 is as cheap as you can get, pretty much.
Yeah,
and I was going to add to your conversation, not to interrupt you, but
go ahead.
I waited on that too because I'm like, I already have the other one. These colors are kind of like whatever. They're okay, but do I really need this crappy toy again? And I said, and then it went on sale, and not every Target got those. It was kind of weird. But I found a place that had a bazillion of them on sale for like $20 or something like that. So I should have picked up a couple, but I picked up one and I never opened it. Mine is still sealed.
Mine's still sealed. That's it. When it was $17, I picked up one. I wasn't like, oh, dude, this thing's going to be worth $100. Let's pick up 7, and they had a wall of them.
I know. I could have been rich off of that place. And I could have spent $100 and got 5 of them.
But that just goes back to the point where even Shattered Glass Rodimus, like when before this Shadow Scyther thing came out, he was going between, I would say, $150 to $200. That's how much he was usually going for, and that was like a buy it now I would always see, and no one would bid on it or whatever. But that was kind of his going price. Then when Shadow Scyther came out, I was watching this auction that this one guy had, and I think it was Piot was watching it too because he was trying to win it, and I think it went up to like $500, and it went up to I think a late 400, like 470 or something, and like that just showed right there, Fans Project, whenever they release some kind of upgrade armor or something, it kind of influences the market. Another example is Head Robots. They're releasing a upgrade set for the Whirl/Bludgeon 2-pack that came out of Revenge of the Fallen. And now everyone's looking for that one. Yet back in the day, no one even gave a crap about that one. No one even cared about, Munitioner and, the Bludgeon Whirl 2-pack. It was just, it's just a wreckage repaint and a repaint of Evac, no one cared. But then all of a sudden this Head Robot upgrade set came out, and now everyone wants it.
Yep, I have mine.
Yeah.
I have Skyfall. I had 2 Skyfalls, and I just got the Skyfall kit, which I believe might be my next review. Hopefully it's out by the time this airs. I got 2 of them, and I got 1 Lucky Draw rifle with it. And one of the sets had the red Lucky Draw rifle, so that's the one I'm going to review.
Nice.
I'm going to save it for last and say this is the Lucky Draw rifle because he kind of knows that, I told him that I was going to YouTube it, so. I was kind of half expecting it because if you're reviewing someone's product and, telling them where to get it, I didn't get a deal. I paid full price for mine. He didn't give me them. I says, I don't want to be getting a handout. I just want to tell you that I like what you're doing for the fandom. I think your prices are fine, considering the time and effort that goes into making something. I mean, people are bitching about the War for Cybertron axe being $10, the price of the toy. And it's like, do you have any idea how much CAD time, how much design time? I mean, there's also a lot of failure involved. Things don't work. Things break. Okay, we got to redesign this, make it out of a different material. That's a lot of money.
There was this group called Nantobot that they were doing an upgrade kit for Roadbuster from the Universe 2-pack back in the day. That crashed and burned, and they sent me a set to like do a public review on it because they were kind of familiar with the Canadian community. And I literally emailed them back and said, look, buddy, like this stuff is really bad quality. Like the gun came and it was like bent and everything. And then they sent me a second set. And when they sent me the second set, the colors of all the plastic were a completely different color. Like, and now these guys have fallen off the face of the map. Like they just, they tried, it didn't work out for them. And that was that. So, but it's a difficult process, and it's probably expensive too.
Yeah.
It's not someone just like printing something out of their printer or something. They have to go to they have to do molding and plastic quality, and it's not easy. Not to mention engineering.
All right. So for the ones that, and it's not really for me. It's not really a way. Like I can wait if the original Henkei Rodimus comes back out at a slightly lower price. I'm not, that hot on getting it. Like, I don't have to have it now. But for those that do want that mold now, would you guys say that the crystal version is an okay substitution for it?
You know what? Like, that Henkei one is, for me right now, it really is that definitive...
Yeah.
Hot rod figure. Because you know what it is? It's that clear blue plastic. That really makes the big difference. Especially like me, I coveted my G1 Rodimus toy my whole life. The clear blue plastic, that blazing yellow spoiler, the chrome, that stuff was so key and important to what made that original G1 toy so defining compared to the other G1 toys. And this one just completely takes that heart and soul that existed in the G1 toy and makes it, that golden spoiler, the clear blue instead of the purple used for the eyes and the cockpit. Like, you can't even compare it. Like, again, like I was saying before with the animated one, to me, when I do get that set in the mail and it's on its way, it's pretty much going to be the same thing where it's like, it's the clear version of a toy that is vastly superior.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's crap, but I'm just saying that the original toy is just so awesome, and this is just its clear version. It's not trying to be better than it. It's just trying to be a clear version. It's like a black repaint. Not all black repaints are better than the original. A lot of them aren't.
No, I will say that. I will say I collect black primes and have tons of customs, but honestly, the one that got me into it, and the best one in my opinion, was when they made RID Scourge.
Oh yeah,
that was the best one. They have not outdone that, in my opinion. As much as I like them, they have not outdone that.
But that's just it. There's some examples of black repaints that are awesome and better than the original molds, and then there's some that they're just black repaints.
Yeah, I honestly don't even think my masterpiece is as good as the regular RID Scourge toy or Black Convoy. I have both, but Black Convoy from the Car Robots is pretty intense too. I love his sword.
It's the teal. It's the sword. It was a good, again,
the upside down G2 symbol.
Yeah, it's a good combination of translucent plastics using the pinks, to work well with the blacks, and the teal. That's a very good example because that's a good use of a repaint. Where I find with crystal Rodimuses, they just do crystal versions of an already pre-existing color scheme.
Right.
It's not a repaint, right?
Yeah, right. Except in the case of the crystal Rodimus, the Henkei one, they don't even use clear blues for the designated areas. They use smoky blacks, from what I could see here. They didn't bother to clear the spoiler. They left it gold, which I thought was kind of interesting. I thought they would have cleared out the spoiler too, which I personally would have liked that. I would have liked it if they cleared out the spoiler, but Considering that it's on a friction point because it's 3 different pieces, the spoiler, maybe it wouldn't have been feasible for engineering. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say, before we kind of wrap this up, I've had my challenge at Cybertron Classics Rodimus in alt mode for, I don't know, about a week or so. And I usually keep my G1 Hot Rod in car mode as well. And I've had them side by side because I did a whole video of G1 from G1 to animated with Rodimus, and I gotta say that challenge at Cybertron one, outside of not having translucent windows, when it comes to the colors, like the red and the yellow for the spoiler, it's pretty much G1 Hot Rod.
It's a very nice figure. Again, it's one of those things that when it comes, I'll have it in hand. I could really give my final opinion. I don't know. It's like the pictures that I've seen, like the alt mode, I can't get past the baby blue. I really can't.
Right.
It's really hard for me to ignore the baby blue windows. You know,
Yeah.
that's something like I don't want to knock repro labels. I love repro labels, but it looks like something straight out of repro labels.
It really does.
Like when repro labels would here, we could fill out your clear windows or something like that. That's what it looks like to me because they've done that with a lot of G1 toys where they're here's stickers for your windows to make them blue. That's what it looks like to me. And same thing, the missile it looks like cotton candy. You know,
it is ridiculous, but I'm still going to get it because it's Rodimus, but I don't think I'm going to get 2. Just not going to do it.
And again, I want to see, because in the pictures I've seen, it looks very pink. The plastic that's for the main body. But again, maybe it's just the photos. I mean, I remember when the first photos of this showed up, it was blazing pink. But now it's it looks like it's not as pink. I'll see when it comes. It's going to come probably in the next coming week or so. I'll have a better idea.
The plastic on the challenge one?
Yeah.
Looks pink?
In some people's photos.
You got to take people's photos with a grain of salt. It's a lot of things involved. I mean, coming from a photographer, you really do.
Look,
that's just it. So, right now, I can't really judge it. That's why I can't really, say anything, because I don't know. The one thing I'll give it props for, I love the yellow spoiler. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I appreciate the effort, but I kind of meh on it. I'm going to get it because it's Rodimus, but meh.
Yeah. I'm
in no rush. I'll wait for someone to sell it loose to me.
Right.
Someone offered it to me for $20 for $2 first class shipping. And then I said, yeah, I'll take it. And he must not have got the PM because I PM'd him back we still on for the Rodimus? And he goes, dude, I thought you didn't want it. I sold it. I'm like, are you? And all I said in the reply was, are you serious? And I left it at that. I've since made up with him, but I was effing pissed.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy the set. I just want one of the toy for $20 or a trade, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to, because unfortunately we can't do multiple video chats on this thing, but after we get done with this episode, I'm gonna have to show Proto Man in person because it's not pink.
Oh, no. I've seen high-res photos.
Oh, it's not, yeah.
I've seen a lot. It's just that, the first photos I saw, the very first photos, which were the stolen Chinese ones, they looked very pink. And then I saw there was nicer photos that appeared on TF Source when they had the out-of-box stuff, and it didn't look as pink. It was more of a red. So I can't base my opinion on anything. It's the same thing with the Japanese Rodimus that's coming out. I've seen the Japanese animated one. I've seen high-res photos of the Japanese animated one, and even though I have a pretty good idea, I'm not going to give my final opinion until it's in my hand under my own lighting using my own naked eyes. You know?
Right, yeah.
And then I'll know. It looks great, though. It looks great. It's very hard to beat that Henkei one. It really is.
Yeah, I know, but like I was saying, though, when I was comparing the two between the original G1 toy and this toy's alt mode, outside of the painted-on blue window, it pretty much is the G1 Hot Rod updated. I mean, because the yellow is the exact same yellow that's on the original 86 toy. It is so close.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think See, for me, I think that if you could probably combine aspects from both figures, and make a perfect Rodimus toy.
Yep.
Like, I think that the head on the challenge for Cybertron Rodimus, I think that one's nicer. In my opinion, I like the way the head is done on that one. I think maybe if we took out the translucent plastics, you know what? I have an extra one. Maybe I'll do a swap one day and I'll see how it looks. Maybe I'll get some kind of perfect one out of it. I think I will do that, actually. I'll crack one of mine open. That's actually a pretty good idea. I wonder how that's done. I'm gonna take a look now if the clear plastic's removable.
All right, so do we have anything else we want to say about any of the Rodimuses that we've talked about in this episode?
Till all are mine.
Wait, I thought that was just with a Prime.
No, it's Rodimus now. It's on.
Oh boy!
If I send
I'm not competition with you, man. You're like the superior level. I can't even do that, you know. But
I don't mind if people want to collect raw. I mean, Drew's already been barking up that bandwagon, but I'll send you the list, but it's going to break you. Like the actual list of what exists.
Do you have a video on your YouTube of your collection? If not, can you make one?
Well, see, I'm in between moving to a new house right now. Where
Okay.
I'm working an entire.
You already have a list typed out, though?
Oh, I have an entire list of every Rodimus Prime toy in existence ever, and we're talking even merchandise, everything in existence ever. Because I have my list.
Yeah, throw me a PM, dude. Throw me a PM.
Sure. Because I have a list.
Whenever. No rush.
It's readily available. It's somewhere here.
If you, Gary, if you listen to episode 61, it's pretty much in that second part of 61. We pretty much went through the whole list.
Episode 61 of ToyCast, I went through every single Rodimus merchandise ever made, pretty much.
That's why that episode is over 2 hours long.
Yeah, I literally went through every variant. I
listened to it.
Yeah.
I listened to this.
Yeah.
It was like the Rodimus checklist.
Yes.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I was just like, oh my god.
Like
to be honest with you, I started to drift off because it was like,
it's so much stuff.
It was putting me in a Rodimus coma in a good way, and I mean that in a good way. I mean,
that's fine.
I'm just like all about Rodimus right now.
It short circuited you, and you went into the Matrix.
I was watching season 3 all day. Don't get into that. And then Optimus goes into the Matrix with his plated steel. I need a steel-plated Optimus now.
I got the Rhino sets a few years ago, back in 08, before we even knew anything about the Shout Factory stuff. And I hadn't seen G1 in years. When I watched Return of Optimus Prime Part 2, and all of a sudden the touch from the 86 movie shows back up.
Yes.
I was like, wait, what?
Yes, that was awesome.
How the hell did they do that?
I thought it was my iTunes, dude. I'm going, what?
No.
Wait a second, what?
No, it's not your iTunes.
Because I have adult ADD, and I multitask, so I have right now I'm browsing tons of things, and I have the Skype box on my second monitor. Usually I'll be watching a movie while I'm browsing and doing all kinds of things, so I do a lot at once.
Yeah. And I was like, because when I was doing TFG1 podcast, that was one of my notes for that episode when we reviewed Return of Optimus Prime Parts 1 and 2. And it's like, holy crap. Because you think, especially a lot of times with TV, if they can't get the rights to a song, they'll replace it. So I was very shocked to see that come back.
You have to realize the Matrix, all it is really is an MP3 player, and it's just whenever they have to light the darkest hour, it plays the touch. That's all. It's
Knock it off. Knock it off. All right, so I think we're going to close this episode out. Thank you for joining us here on ToyCast. There's several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. You can comment on each episode post. Join the forums, PredaconEmpire.com/Nexus. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter. The showing there is TF ToyCast. Mine is TFG and Mike. Protoman, what is your Twitter?
Protoman X.
And I am Optimus Scourge. I believe there may be an underscore in between that one. That's the only place there is.
Yeah.
And you can also find me on YouTube at Optimus Scourge 76, one word.
Yes. You can become a fan of us on Facebook. Search Geekcast Radio Network. We are still currently running that Stan Bush Dream the Dream contest. If we hit 200 fans, a random winner will be selected to receive an autographed CD from Stan and a Stan Bush t-shirt. If we hit 300, another set of a CD and a t-shirt will be given away. We hope you enjoyed this episode of ToyCast and wish you will join us next time. For now, I am TFG1 Mike with...
The goddamn Protoman?
Well, we just said it together.
I know. I was like, who's going to say it first?
You know who I am. You know who he is.
You don't need to know who I am.
He's the Rodimus Master. I am but a Padawan.
Oh boy. I somehow cannot see Proto Man as Obi-Wan and Optimus Scourge as Anakin. Oh, that's scary. Holy crap.
Let's use someone else. Let's use Ben and Luke.
Proto Man's not that old yet. Old hermit. I can just see... Oh, God, I can just see it now. 90-year-old Transformers collector, the old hermit in the cave. My Rodimus! My Rodimus! You can't have it!
You know what I'd love Peter Cullen to say to me? I am your father. Because he pretty much was my dad. Like a lot of other people that didn't have a dad, he was my dad, dude. I learned life lessons from Optimus.
Yep.
No? I even told him that. I mean, the first time I met him at the BotCon way back was, it was very small. It was nothing like they are now. It was pre-FP days. Very different. So, yeah, I've met him, and I've actually worked staff with him and got to... I went to a bar with him and had beer.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And on that note, we will see you next time.